Yes.
I'm not sure I am, but anyway, and I don't think this is going to go super long. It's not going to go long, but we got to be out of here by.
We're live.
By,
So we're live? Oh, we're live.
yeah, whatever. Just so you know, I'm not going to speak faster because
Okay.
that's not
No
gonna
reason
work.
to.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So I think we're ready. I think
Yep,
are
call
we,
it to
are we
order.
ready to go? Okay.
We're already live.
Although it appears we're in disarray, we're ready to proceed with the Trees and Green Infrastructure Committee meeting today, October the 20th, 10 a.m., or actually it's at 10:05 plus, and here in City Hall, second floor. Assembled, I'm going to recite the roll call here. Susan Gay.
Here.
Present. Andrea Huffman.
Here.
Jennifer Duncan.
Here.
Chair, Bunky Markert, and this is our group for today. I'm going to be following the script that we've been following for these many months, but just getting updates on certain things and wanting to discuss in greater detail, or maybe with some hopefully new information, some of the things we've been working on. Also, did you all get a chance to take a look at the minutes? Are we prepared
Yes,
to
I did,
vote? Would somebody like to make a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the September 8th meeting.
And I second.
Okay. Any comments?
No, they were very good.
Okay.
Excellent.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. No opposition. We've handily carried that motion. Okay. I was just going to, we're kind of have maybe a little bit of a time constraint today, so we shall forge ahead. I don't think we had any correspondence, new correspondence I'm aware of. And then we're just going to kind of go through these old business items. We had one item later that was suggested by Diana, and she wasn't going to be able to make it here. We may be able to talk about it a little bit, but we might have to continue
So
that
you were
later.
changing the order?
No, I wasn't planning on doing that. I think I
Okay.
was just going to hammer through this. So I wanted to ask you,
Update on the tree program.
did
we have
you get updated on it?
Yes, Lynn Cohn gives us quarterly updates, and so I did get one as of I guess the end of September. And unfortunately, we only had one donation in the past quarter. It came in the end of July. So I guess that makes us up to 101 donations now, and still about, just shy of $60,000. So one of the things I was going to suggest, and I can certainly take this up with Lynn, she's done a great job in the past of having articles like in Lines in the Sand periodically about various initiatives. I mean, she had one about the ivy. I think she had one, maybe last year about the program or whatever. But I noticed recently, I saw a calendar thing that said that December 3rd is like National Giving Day. So this is the time of year, and we talk about this even before, even two chairs ago, when Tony Sharp was chair of the committee, we talked about needing to make a push at the end of the year for contributions, because this is the time of year when people are looking to make charitable contributions. And I'm not sure we've ever really carried it through. We sort of think about it too late or whatever. So with your permission, I could talk to Lynn about possibly whatever Lines in the Sand is coming out around then to say, hey, December 3rd is National Giving Day. We have this program, this tax-deductible program you can contribute to, and sort of giving it some extra promotion that way.
I think this is an excellent idea.
Okay, all right. So there's that. And, I don't know whether it'll get us any end-of-the-year donations or not, but we usually do get a few anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering, last year, did we go to the farmer's market Thanksgiving Day?
I don't think so, and I don't remember exactly why. I want to say it was probably because of a personnel,
Nobody was here.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe that was why.
That is a really good opportunity.
It
I mean,
is.
people are in the holiday giving
Right.
mode at
And
that
that is the
point.
Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend, correct?
Correct.
Are you here?
I don't think so.
Well, see, then that's the problem for me as well.
And you're not here.
I'll be here,
You'll be here?
I believe.
You think you could man it yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, I have what you need.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
I do.
Something you plan
I
on
do have I have the posters. Do you want to call Pat, or do you want me to?
I'm in close communication with Pat.
Excellent.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, is it a guarantee that we would have a table there, or just
No,
that?
you just have to ask. You just have,
Right.
yeah, you just have to
Yeah,
ask.
okay.
But I bet you could.
Okay.
And I think that it
So
worked,
what's the date of that?
well, it would be the Saturday of Thanksgiving, so it's,
Hold on a minute, I can look.
yeah.
The 25th.
25th?
Yes.
Okay.
When it was done, I recollect that it was successful.
So Giving Day.
Well, that's on December 3rd is the official Giving Day, which is weird because it looks like it's a Sunday this year. Oh, well, that's weird.
Is December 3rd?
That's the National Giving Day
National
thing that
Giving
I was
Day,
talking
and
about.
then they also
The-
do this-
The farmer's market is the November 25th.
the online Tuesday Giving Day.
Well, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's right, Giving Tuesday, that's another thing.
Yeah,
So
I
why
mean,
is it
it's
the
like,
3rd? Then I better confirm that, because I've also, yes, I'm very, now that you mention it, very familiar with Giving Tuesday, so I don't get it.
But that's kind of a more of an online thing.
Right.
you know.
Well, it is, and but still, I mean, we want people to, I guess
So,
they can't
I
donate
mean, we
online,
can certainly
though.
have-
We can't donate online.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you want to get people to be obviously
Right.
aware, but, tis the season.
But
you-
it should be together, shouldn't it, somehow?
Yeah,
Giving
but
Day-
I guess there's a different,
Yeah,
sort of thing,
perhaps.
too, because one has been a day for years, and the other one is fairly recent.
But anyway, but we're talking at the least doing something at the farmer's market in person.
Yes.
And before we leave the commemorative tree topic, because I know you want to get through all this agenda,
Okay.
the only other thing, I noticed Liz isn't here, the only other thing I wanted to ask about was, I don't know what, if any, trees have been planted this year for the program. In other words, every year, there's a tree planting project that the commemorative tree program funds. Last year, for instance, it was the trees on Delaware Avenue. Liz told me, the last time,
She spoke at the last meeting
Yeah.
talking about that there were some street trees.
right, exactly, I was just going to say that
And she didn't give a number, it was like 5 or
right,
something.
she said that there was no citywide project to support trees this year, but that instead she was going to use it to fulfill requests that she's had for street trees, but she was not able at the time to tell us where or how many. And I guess I would like to get that, next month, to
Okay,
find that
well,
out, because it's important to be able to tell people what their money is going toward.
Okay, let's just say, get an update from
Yeah,
Liz.
okay,
We were just going to say 2023
yeah.
and the
And
year.
any that she might already have in the works for the
Yeah,
spring of
yeah,
next year as
okay.
well, yeah.
Okay. Okay. What was the number, by the way? Do you know our grand total? It was, what was it, 58?
It's just under 60 now, it's like maybe 59 something, yeah.
59, okay, well, so what, not bad, I mean, it was like.
No, it's not
was
bad. It's just
another-
that there's
was
some
fif-
quarters we get like 6 donations, and this quarter we only got 1, so that's why I feel
Okay,
like
but
we
if
need
it
to
was
make a
one,
push.
it was like a grand?
No, it was
No.
one, it was a smaller one. It was
Oh,
the,
so it was,
260
I
or
think it's
something.
still, it was 58 or something.
Yeah,
Okay,
so it's,
well,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's hit
Yeah,
60 yet.
okay. All right, well, that's still, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
All right, moving right along. The only thing I wanted to discuss about the tree mapping project, I think well, refresh my memory. Was that something that you were going to talk to Lynn about or something? Or
No.
No?
No, that was not a Lynn thing.
That was not a Lynn thing. Because I think we sort of exhausted we were talking about the tagging and all that kind of stuff.
well, those got actually conflated. Those are 2 separate things. The
Right,
tree
but-
map and the tree tour are separate things.
Right, but I think we were sort of discussing the other part, which was, I think, the tour part.
Right, that's,
Okay,
that's,
okay.
you've got the mapping and the tour been conflated
Yeah,
into
so-
one, because
so-
it involves a map.
Yeah, so, I mean, I consider them
So,
the same thing.
in terms of the tree mapping, can we, in terms of the tree mapping, can we jumpstart this at all? What can we do?
Well, I need to talk to Max about how we're going to do that, and I have not done that yet.
Okay,
But the tree tour is they were sort of joint projects, I guess. So can we talk about that? And I've been looking for photos of the trees. I didn't get very far. You have something?
I have something for you.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do have something. Okay, so I guess since last we met, I did a couple of drafts and a final draft when I realized that the brochure is very much like our commemorative tree brochure. We had so much great information. I- It was clear that it was not going to fit on the brochure. So it took me 3 drafts, but I finally got something that I think will fit on the brochure. It was given to Lynn, and she was going to word craft it. I have not heard from her, although other than to say, we did get an estimate on the cost of printing the brochure. And we also got 2 options, and in talking to Lynn, we've decided it was going to be, the question was glossy or not glossy, and we're going non-glossy. And it's within our budget to print up, I think the number was 1,000 or something, at 500. I'm not exactly sure what the number was.
But dollars or numbers?
Oh, no. The dollars, I don't remember. The numbers was either 500 or 1,000.
to
Okay,
print out.
so,
The
yeah,
numbers
to
are-
print out, yeah.
Okay, that's right.
So we are well on our way with that. What's holding us up right now is we do need photos. And it's hard to find photos that are free as opposed to copyrighted. And that's one of the things that is holding this process up. So we're looking for the photos to include. But once that's done, and I did find some here. We'll get back with Lynn, and I think we're ready to go. Okay?
Are we interested in actual Rehoboth Beach
No.
photos?
No.
Or
No,
just
just
stock-
standard
stock
photos,
photos?
just
because they'll be
stock
better-
photos.
They might be
Okay.
better pictures, first of all. But you said so you found some in there?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Okay? So we've got a head start here. So
Okay, great.
we'll continue to work on that.
Okay.
And it's not as easy as you would think. Most of the stuff is copyrighted. So,
But the ones in there we can get, or what?
yeah, I mean, there's nothing that says, I hope so.
I mean, there's lots of, go on the internet, I mean.
We-
yeah, but that's the
they're like
That's
low
the
res,
problem.
they're probably not
They're not,
front row
yeah.
to you. Okay. Well, I wonder if there's a,
Go to my tabs.
Yeah, that's supposed to.
They're not great, but they are,
I mean, some university or something that has some kind of horticultural thing. They might have a library that let you use photos or something.
Yeah.
We have to look
we have
at
to,
it. Fine.
that's something we
I
have to
can,
do. Can you help?
I can help.
Oh,
Let me, maybe, I'm just saying, Hillwood has a horticultural department, and I can talk to their chief. horticultural-
Okay, yes, so.
Where you been
there's a
all my life?
connection there.
I know a guy.
Okay.
Let me just put that here. Talk with Hort and Hillwood. Okay, all right. Have we exercised our interest in this topic, or we'll continue?
Yes.
We'll continue on with
Yes.
this, but it just.
Progress made.
Yeah, progress made, I think so. Okay, moving right along, the item C, the fact that we're not doing the lecture, we really didn't talk about what we plan to do or whether or not we want to look at doing something. I think the discussion from last month had to do with integrating the talk with our other Earth Day, Tree Day things, and I'm wondering if we're, that's gonna be
that's a lot.
become problematic, and we want to shift that around or something like that.
Well, if we want to do Earth Day, we could possibly, again, it depends on whether Liz would be available, but it would be wonderful to do an IV eradication, a
Right. I'm
live
thinking-
demo. That would be so good.
I'm thinking that we'll get to, on our list, but I think that activity, is the one that would work best in conjunction with the environmental committee and doing it like an Earth Day thing.
The other thing I think that we could revive, and we did have people come to it and request it, was pruning. We did do a pruning workshop live.
Okay.
We had a group of people get together, and Liz led that. We did trees, and it turns out that most people had people prune their trees, but there was a request for shrub pruning, you know, how to best do shrubs. And that is something that homeowners could really do. And I could see that being a nice thing for Earth Day.
Okay.
If we wanted to get involved in, and that's early enough, it's April, right? So we
It's
can
end of April.
Yeah, so we could, that's still pruning. I think you can still prune it.
Oh, sure. I mean, you can
prune
prune
it, yeah.
earlier than that. I mean, you can
Yeah.
prune all the time, you know. But I think with certain trees, it's probably better to do them kind of early or before the trees start really have their growth spurt, you know.
The only, I mean, it would depend on Liz, and if Liz couldn't, the question is whether a master gardener would could substitute for her. And if that's the case, and we decide to go with that and do something for Earth Day, we just need a little bit of time to let Liz know that we'd like her available.
Yeah, sure.
And we'd
Well,
ask her.
you know,
And
talk to her directly.
then I guess the other thing would be just see if we could find a master gardener that would give us that time
Right.
that day.
But are we talking about this in lieu of the person that we were thinking about having?
No, I think he should come, absolutely, no, the chief botanist of Delaware should come. The chief botanist of Delaware should come.
To do it
To do,
at a
yes,
separate time.
A separate
time,
time,
right.
yes.
But were we talking about it, not waiting another year, but to do it?
Well, I could ask whether he'd be available in the spring. When do you think, you know, we always went for owners being here, which is why October was such a good month for us. Do you have a feel when you would like him if we wanted to do it in the spring?
Well, I'm just wondering, you know, I mean, the winter months, would that be a good time? You know, I'm just, it could be like an indoor activity.
Well, I don't think January, February would be a good time.
I agree.
You know, holidays
Oh,
or
right, but
January,
I'm
February.
thinking
would be-
March maybe. What about
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I could,
Go ahead.
I guess I could call, I could talk to him and see whether March he'd be available.
Yeah.
March,
Yeah, I would say. Now, remember, if it's here in this room, it has to take the place of our monthly meeting. No reason,
Okay,
it's not
so
a
when-
problem, but
Right.
we would just
I mean,
plan
the
ahead
only
for it.
concern I have is it's leading up to what, you know, it's a month before.
Well, that's okay.
I know, but then we would have to probably do that outside the meeting. You know, what we're planning for, I mean, not that,
I don't think that matters.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think the Earth Day and Arbor Day stuff does not really count against us in terms of meeting, but having something here in this room would.
yeah,
Yeah,
right,
Not
okay.
count against us, but you know what I mean.
So what
We'd
kind
only
of-
do one a month.
What kind of a date, because I would have to propose something, would we say mid-March?
Well, I mean,
had to be
we have a fixed date now, we could potentially use that.
What is it,
That'd be the 8th.
March 8th?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can call. No reason why I can't,
Yeah,
or text,
and we
or,
could
you know,
change,
and
we
email.
could change that date, you know.
Okay,
Later in the month if we wanted to,
Okay.
but, you know,
yeah,
I think we're,
So I
Well,
have a question. I'm a little confused. Why are we getting involved in Earth Day when we have Arbor Day? And we have, Arbor Day is like the elementary school kids
Yeah.
and
right.
and
It's
all of that
because they're kinda
activity
two
and the
different things.
contest.
Yeah,
So
we're not touching it.
why are we even talking about Earth Day?
I just felt that in the discussion that we had with Carolyn, that I look at this event thing, it obviously involves the public, we'll get some press out of it, you know, that kind of thing. I just thought those aspects were good, kind of promotion-wise and visibility-wise and that kind of thing. And that's why I thought it might be a good idea, you know. But yeah, it doesn't specifically have anything with Arbor Day. I mean, maybe, you know, indirectly, okay, but there'd be two different things. I just thought it was something we could plan for and do. And in addition, I mean, to me, you tell me, but I mean, there have been changes and so forth in terms of what we've done with Arbor Day. You know, like last year was different when we had a new location and all that kind of stuff. But we're kind of prepared for it, I think. I mean, you do the lion's share of it, so it's really up. You know, you speak out and say if this is too much or whatever. But I mean, I think you know.
well, I think actually the pruning was not, we just put an ad in both the Gazette and probably Lines in the Sand, which we didn't have at that time. But we did have, we had maybe 6 people come. And I mean, that's not great attendance, but it's something. Certainly for the ivy, if we could do a demonstration on a tree,
I mean, that's a possibility too. We could do, in conjunction with the ivy thing,
Yeah,
so.
I would love to see another demonstration, how easy it is to do. And then the bush pruning, I think, is actually helpful to homeowners. And even at that time of year, you can still prune. So I don't see, I just think it's good publicity.
I mean, I think we
But
can
it's
talk
Liz
to,
or somebody that we have to find. So,
talk to Liz about it, but I mean, I assume there are trees, if we're doing things in the vicinity of Deauville, there's a tree we could prune? I kind of think so, right? And we're okay with pruning a city tree?
Well, if not Liz, then what about the, is it the Rehoboth in Bloom group?
I don't know, it would have to be a master gardener.
They're not
Yeah,
master
because
gardeners.
they just do the
That's a
plants.
Yeah,
whole
it's
different
plants,
thing.
yeah. You have to have a master gardener.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, I guess we
All
can
right.
move on.
so I'm just taking notes here, but potentially, we're saying 3/8/24 for a, some kind of, that would be for the talk here, right?
What we say, the March, you're talking about March?
March, yeah.
Yeah.
What is the date of Earth Day?
I think it's always the 20th of April.
April 20th?
Yeah, I believe it's always that. And this coming year, because I remember Carolyn talking about this when she came to speak to us, I think this coming year, it's the Monday, well, actually, oh, that was this year. Next year, it's on a Saturday, and then I think that must mean Arbor Day is the 26th.
26.
Okay,
Or
so,
maybe Earth Day is the 22nd. Hold on a minute, I'm going to look it up.
Monday, April 22nd.
Okay, all right,
so it's
yeah.
Monday?
April 22nd, that's right.
That's Arbor Day?
That's
Yeah,
Earth Day.
That's Earth
Earth Day,
Day. So
Earth
it's
Day.
Monday, the same week that Arbor Day is on Friday, 22nd, 26th.
Okay. Friday, so it's Earth Day week, Earth and Arbor Day week.
Correct.
Does,
Now, are we thinking that's when we're going to be doing it, or what?
well, does anyone know a master gardener?
Nope.
I don't-
I think I do. I think.
Okay, well, we can, okay,
I'll get back to you.
all right, so. Okay. So, okay, so anyway, but you did have the discussion with Lynn, and you discussed
Yes.
the brochure business
Yes,
and the need for
that's-
photos, and I'm
yes.
going to take
That's
care
where
of
it
that.
stands right
Okay.
now. And the costs she got were quite reasonable.
yes.
Yeah. They were lower than what had been approved by the commissioners when I presented it last year.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
Okay, so we've done the education and the Ivy, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Now, the item E, I'm moving on to item E. I just wanted to kind of continue the discussion about, we were talking about for some kind of tree giveaway, or I'm going to say giveaway. We have not yet decided. But the idea of this raffle, I think is kind of cool. Yeah, and tell me if you don't think you think it's a dumb idea, but I will just mention that I had a brief conversation with the city manager and the assistant city manager and Bert. And Bert, I think, he's
he really likes
he's the gearhead guy.
yeah,
And he didn't seem, he's going to look into it. So I'll hopefully get some more information about that. But I was just trying to figure out whether or not there was something about this that we couldn't do, or there would be some prohibition or something. So, but anyway, but I think it would be interesting. This would obviously well into next year. I think we would be thinking about this, but to have some kind of a program or something where I'm just thinking, like, what are you guys thinking about this at all? Or you have any ideas?
I
about
have
this?
some comments. I'm actually was prepared to recommend that
Oh.
this be taken off the agenda for the future because Sussex County already has a tree giveaway. The Conservative District will host a native tree giveaway on Thursday, November 9th from 1 to 4 at the Vander Wendy
Yeah.
Evans
It's a-
Conservation Center. Rain or shine, 200 trees, and they're all, as it's a part of the Tree for Every Delawarean initiative. The acronym is TEDI, T-E-D-I. The species available are bald cypress, river birch, serviceberry, sweet babe, magnolia. Each tree will have a tag with a QR code that provides information on how to properly select, plant, and maintain trees. And they will be added to a tree tracker. So this is already in existence, so I don't think we need to have, and it was also in the Cape Gazette.
It was in the Cape Gazette 2 weeks in a row.
And
2 weeks in a row.
yeah, so
Okay.
I don't think,
As an ad or an article?
article.
Article, that's what I
Yeah,
thought. Yeah, because you
twice.
told me,
And
yeah,
when are they doing it?
November 9th.
November 9th.
November 9th from 1 to 4 at the Vander Wendy
Yeah, well, that's it.
Evans Conservation Center in Georgetown. And it's interesting that this initiative is in partnership with the Urban and Community Forestry at the Delaware Department of Agriculture's Forest Service, the Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control, Division of Climate, Coastal Energy, and other stakeholders.
This is the program that the governor unveiled, not last year, but the year before, here in Rehoboth. So this is
Okay.
part of that program.
Okay,
So it's already being done. I don't see that we need to
well,
do anything.
I think, I would say yes, but, okay. I think we should promote this.
Well,
Should we
it's
not?
in 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now. I don't know
Well, I'm just saying, that if we can
How?
get a line in the sand.
if
blurb.
you can.
Yeah, if we can.
Anybody want to talk, do you mind talking to
Lynn?
Lynn about that, just
Want
like
me to
kind of
forward the article.
forward
to
the
you?
article or whatever? Because that's one thing. But I was thinking, like, I don't want to call, these are certainly bona fide nice trees, right, what they're giving away. I mean, I don't know how big they are or whatever. But I was thinking if we did the raffle thing I was thinking about was a bigger tree, you know, a bigger, something that may even need to get installed, you know. And so therefore would be kind of a more valuable thing. And then we had to sort of figure out how we would be paying for it, or would there be enough, would we actually do an actual raffle or something like that, you know? But I just like the idea. You know, maybe we're not going to do it, you know, well into next year or something like that, but I just thought it was kind of an interesting idea.
I think when we had someone come and talk about Arbor Day and raise the issue of tree giveaways on Arbor Day, it is a day to do it. If somebody would take on the raffle idea and do it, you know, a nice big tree and a raffle on Arbor Day, that would be very
Yeah,
cool.
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
mean,
be part of that event.
How do you get the raffle? I don't understand how you would get the
Well,
raffle.
the only thing, I think the idea, the raffle part of it is just a means of selecting the winner.
Right.
You know, you have to have a pool of people that are going to apply for it, whether they pay for a ticket, or we issue a ticket, or we put it up there and we say, send your email address or send your address or something like that, and you'll get on the list. And then we have some kind of ceremonial thing where we have a cranky little song.
How many would you mind? We're not
Well, I'm
trying-
just saying, we need to figure it out. I would think like a handful, you know, like maybe a half a dozen or less, or 10 or less or something, whatever that would be and what that would cost and all that kind of stuff. So, but yet to be determined. But somehow, I just think something like that would spur interest, and
We need a donation. We can't use the commemorative tree to buy.
I don't know, I mean, that's a Bert question.
Yeah, I can find out. I mean, but we have other alternatives.
I think, don't know if it's officially, but the program was done to benefit, trees in the city.
Right.
So I don't know.
And we would have to do it in such a way that it is
And I think that's
for
the only reason it's not-
Rehoboth
it's nonprofit.
residents, I mean, obviously,
Well, yeah, I mean, you need some seed money then to buy the trees. Probably, I'm not sure. I'm looking at a tree now. It's about $250.
I mean, probably need to talk to Liz about it more, but I'm just wondering, if we're doing street trees based on recommendations,
Yeah,
I mean, we kind of, that's something the city pays for.
right, because they're on city property.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, and, but so,
It would be
could it be
it's
that
street tree.
it gets put on city property? But it
Well, but
gets-
she
but-
does that anyway. You don't
I
need a
know,
raffle for
but I'm
that.
just saying, but we can make a kind of a raffle thing out of it.
In order to, you mean to select the location? But she's already, it's somewhat redundant with what she's already doing.
Yeah, and the things she's putting, they're street trees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, well, maybe there wouldn't be. So this would be not for a street tree.
right.
Then I don't know what the rules would be about us using commemorative tree funds for something that's on private property. That's the only, I have no idea. That's a Bert question and a
Okay,
Liz question.
well, let me talk to Bert about it.
Yeah.
Susan, the last time you had this program with Terry,
Yeah.
is that source of funding still available?
Well, that was that was an interesting thing. That was basically a one-off. It was not attached to any one group. It was a plan she actually came up with, aptly named Tremendous Rehoboth. So
Right,
it got a
perfect.
lot of attention that way. There were donations, not a huge number of them, but there were some donations that allowed it to be done. And then each homeowner, they didn't get them free. They had to pay $50, but still $50 was a lot less than what a tree would cost. The only problem, and the original idea was that it was going to be in Country Club Estates because that's an area that really needs trees. But there weren't that many requests from Country Club, so we opened it up a bit, and it ended up, let's see, 2 of them are on State Road.
Right.
There are some in Country Club, and there's one actually on like Queen Street or
Yeah,
something. And so but it was, I think the total number we did was maybe 6 or 7, because that's
we
how
wouldn't-
many
yeah.
requests there were.
right. Well, we certainly don't need to do anything bigger if it were for, but I like the idea of giving away some trees on Arbor Day. I really do.
Yeah, and I believe the requirement was that it be front yard. We weren't doing any backyard trees. They needed to be visible,
And how did you go about finding the people did you just ask people for money?
Terry did, yeah.
Terry did.
And yeah, we had one donor come forward, and then we just had a few more donations after that, yeah. It ended up being it was great, it was a great experience, but it ended up being a relatively small program, not because of the donations, but because of the requests for trees. There were a finite number, a fairly small number of trees requested.
Well, we would keep this small.
Yeah. Well, if you did it every year, that'd be a good thing, because
Yeah.
then there's a reason to keep it small, and there's always next year, But based on that, even if you opened it up to the whole city, you're not going to get huge numbers of requests in any given time.
Right. All right. Well, I think there's some things to work out here, but I'm still,
Can I go back to the idea, and I mentioned this before, of talking to some of the nurseries around town and asking them if they donate trees? You'd have to do that now.
Well, right, but I mean, I think it's worth knowing whether they would or not, whether they do it now or next year. I think it's worth knowing.
That's what I think, too.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to step up and say they would go to some nurseries.
I think I can talk to my nursery of choice.
Okay.
I could
You have a nursery of
probably,
choice?
I have a nursery of choice, too.
Is your nursery of choice different than my nursery of
I
choice?
don't know.
We'll discuss
Does
that.
anyone else have a nursery of choice? Okay. I think that's worth doing.
Yeah.
I agree with you,
do too.
Susan. I think it's worth knowing now
Well,
whether
just
there's
knowing, yeah, just-
anybody
yeah.
that would,
yeah.
Okay, so I still want to pursue this. I'm sorry. But I'd just like to
I'm with you, okay?
figure out, okay. so-
I'm with you. You
we'll-
got,
But I also think it's good to promote what the county's doing, because people may
Yeah,
not know that.
right,
right.
right.
Yeah.
So if we can at least, at the very least,
this,
get that
yes.
forwarded, and then we can continue to talk about this other thing. All right. I'm moving on to item F. I'm goose eggs on this the fire scaping thing. I have not been able to reach my contact at the volunteer fire company, and I have tried again, and I'm going to try to work through that. Ann may have a better way to contact this person, but anyway, I'll just next time we'll talk about that. Then I guess the other, I think we've kind of touched on. I'm going to move now to item G. We've kind of touched on the business about the environmental committee project with regard to a cleanup or something like that. So I mean that sort of in conjunction. I don't
I know what it meant by nonprofit caretaker group.
Well, that was what we really talked about was to set up a group that was, because I think this was addressing what Liz had talked about, that if we do the ivy eradication, we got to keep following up. If we just say we did it and then just leave it, it's all going to grow back and everything. So the idea was that we would have a group that would go, we'd schedule out every, I don't know, twice a year, 3 times a year, or something like that, to make sure that it's, we're keeping it in check, kind of thing. So, and I would just say, if we do something in conjunction with the environmental group, I think that kind of expands that, pool or whatever, and we would have maybe more people involved. So that was sort of the context of that comment. But the fact that I think we need to develop this event or whatever.
Yeah, I think the people come first.
Yeah, right.
I
So,
think the people
yeah,
definitely come first.
It's
And
like,
I don't know, I mean, if,
eradicate it and they will come. Let me write
well,
that down.
they need
Okay,
to
yeah.
eradicate
But I don't know
it.
why, but I don't know that there's any reason to say nonprofit. I mean,
Well,
that implies something
No,
totally different.
I was, when I said, I think nonprofit meant a volunteer.
A volunteer,
a
that's what
volunteer
you meant.
group.
Yeah, I think volunteer.
Yes, okay, that's a better. that's
So
better.
how many people on this committee do you think we can raise to get into the woods in December, early, end of November?
Yes, this pen is not working.
Because that's when everything should be dead.
Well, when they do lines in the sand, can they ask
Yes, yes.
for volunteers, and then you'll have an idea?
Yes, I mean, that's,
We're scheduling this for whatever,
yeah. I think
January, December.
December, I think a nice day in December is what we're
Okay,
going
all
to
right.
probably look for.
Right.
I was supposed to, I didn't do it because I need to get with the environmental folks. So
and
somebody's
I
going to
was-
get,
Yeah, I was gonna try, I couldn't find it when I looked for it, but I'm gonna, because
neither
it
of
was
you.
on my
yeah,
city.
I can't do anything until I get in touch
No,
with
I
her.
can, there's a couple of other
So-
places I can look in the
Okay,
archives.
all right.
Okay.
So I need a phone number for someone
well, it wouldn't be a
on
phone,
the
it'd be an email,
environmental.
but okay.
All right, or it won't be a phone, okay, it has to be an email.
Okay.
No, it doesn't have to be, it's all I'll be able
Okay.
to find.
All right.
And you're going to look too.
Yeah.
I would prefer a phone number, but anyway, okay.
Yeah, I sent you
Oh, did you send it already?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Your the email.
Oh,
but
you
I-
did? Okay, because I couldn't find it, but that was probably because it was in my
Excellent.
city.
Okay, all right.
I do have a question on the trees that were planted in Central Park, the 3. Is it time for the bags to come off and the hose to be disconnected?
Yes, I think so.
Who does that?
Well, I didn't connect it. Somebody from the city did.
Right.
You know what? When I leave here, I'll leave a note for
And
Liz.
they'll take the bags
yeah.
too?
Yeah. Thank you. Before I leave here, I'll take care of that. Okay, I'll leave a message for Liz. It is time, I think. Agreed, everybody?
Okay,
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I haven't watered in probably 3 weeks, and
Yeah.
it's beyond, I think it's beyond the time. I think they're going to make it.
Right, okay.
So, and
but it hasn't rained much lately, has it?
last night, I think it rained enough. They've
Rained
really,
enough, yeah,
we got them through, excuse me, I got them through.
Yeah, right.
I got them through the summer, and I think that they're looking pretty
Okay,
good. So, yeah.
all right.
But that's, thank you very much. I appreciate that thought.
We don't have any new business listed here. I would any other comments about something? Well, I didn't really I know at last meeting there was a comment from Diana about the lantern flies, if we were going to do something about lantern flies. I don't know about lantern fly. I mean, I know what they are and I've seen them, but what do we,
I failed to take her article to Lynn. I went to Lynn without the article.
okay,
I can go back. I hope they're all dead now.
okay.
Because of the weather.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
because of the weather.
So that's a problem that would recur in the spring.
I mean, our relationship with Lynn, I would think, is we're just basically feeding her stuff. It's really up to her to decide whether or not she's going to put it
Correct.
in and
Yes.
stuff. So if we
Yes.
can be sort of a conduit to
Judicious.
her.
Yeah, and judicious.
and I think that's the best we can expect, or whatever. Okay, so, but if you don't mind,
Yeah.
send that along or whatever, if you know where, get your hands on
yes.
it, whatever. Any other items you want to include in future agenda? I mean, I think we got enough stuff here, but.
Yeah, I was going to say updates on
Yeah,
all the
I don't think
things
we're
we're
where we
currently
got to
working
fill.
on.
But
Right.
anyway,
So then the next meeting would be,
okay, our next meeting is a rescheduled meeting. Was it the 3rd?
oh, is it rescheduled?
Well, it can't be when we put it, I think it's the same day as your,
Oh, yeah.
your,
So it's coming up pretty soon.
yeah, it's gonna be pretty close.
Yeah, the 3rd, because the 10th was,
So it's going to be when,
Veterans.
November?
November
so that's
3rd.
just 2 weeks from today.
Whoa.
Yeah, so,
Okay, I have a lot to do.
so if we can get our,
It's just 2 weeks from today.
I,
Okay.
I have a question.
please.
So I don't know if this is within the scope of this committee, but I have a friend who is very knowledgeable in walnut trees. In fact, there's one walnut tree at the end of Grove Park that was covered with ivy, and he saved it. It was on the little, like the street, the little that area, not the street, the dirt path back in there. I don't know if it was, I'm assuming it's city property, but anyway, he's nurtured it back to health over the years. But he was telling me how you take a walnut and the seeds, and you can actually, over a period of 6 months, I guess it was, you can actually get the seeds to, is the proper word, germinate,
Germinate.
and then plant, and then they grow. And now is that sort of science, or whatever you call it, part of what our committee does or educates people on? I thought it was pretty cool. He said they're going to Florida for a while, and he's going to bring the seeds over to me to put in my refrigerator for 4 months. It's part of the process. And then when they come back, we'll plant them. And they may grow if the squirrels don't get them.
Right, okay.
So I just
But
wondered,
I'm just curious.
I
is
just
this
thought it
a-
was
a-
very
a-
fascinating.
Is this a hardy walnut tree? I mean, does it produce?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Black walnut tree.
black walnut, okay.
It's
Because there's
down on
different kind of
the-
walnuts, right? Yeah.
It's down on the dirt road, behind, that you can take to get into Henlopen Acres.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out which, okay. I have several oak trees germinating in little cups.
Oh, see?
My husband has been doing it for years. We've never brought one to the point where we could put it in the ground. But
Is it-
my acorns germinate all over the place. Actually, you can come to my front yard and see them this spring.
Yeah, we have that too. I'm just wondering if that's within the scope
Oh,
of
sure, I
our,
mean,
to
why not,
educate.
but I'm just wondering.
I just thought it was pretty neat. You do this and do that and cross your fingers.
So what you're suggesting is I take a mess of acorns over to the elementary school with dirt and cups.
Yeah.
Well, actually, what I would think would be interesting is if you could somehow document the process and by either photographs or a little short videos, where the kids today are all into these short videos.
They're on YouTube.
And it doesn't have to be TikTok,
Yeah, they're-
although it could be TikTok, it can certainly be
He learned
YouTube.
it all from YouTube over the years.
You
Yeah.
know,
I'm
I'm serious.
I'm
I'm
serious, too.
serious too. I mean, I could pick them up off the ground right now.
You know, And I think there's something, again,
Okay.
another
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 education.
piece of, creative content
All right,
and that we're all in need of.
you met Jackie. I'll call Jackie.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you mind, I mean, I can certainly help you with it and everything, but if we could put together like a little walnut propagation
This is a
video,
lot.
I think
This
it'd be
is-
kind of a cool thing.
This is a lot, thank you. This is a lot for November 3rd, but you
Yeah,
know what?
right, okay.
Well, I was just, thinking it
No, I
might be,
think that might be really cool, and there's certainly enough kids, and Jackie she's the science and, let's try it. I'll ask. That's, all right.
Glad you brought it up. I would have never come up with that. Okay.
I wouldn't have either until he planted a black cherry tree for us.
Okay.
And
we'll
then
hope it's
started
elementary.
talking about walnuts.
Yeah. Although, are walnuts more prone for people to have allergies than other kind of nuts?
I have no
Talking
idea.
about black cherries? Because I think I have one.
Black walnuts.
Black walnut, okay.
No, he planted a black cherry.
Yeah, because I
And
have one of
then
those in
talked to
mine.
me about
Yeah, right,
this
okay.
one tree that's on the edge of the park, I guess that is, that dirt road
Yeah,
that was being consumed with ivy.
okay, all right. Well, listen, I'm gonna basically thank you all. Thanks to Ann, but it's about, we'll be looking at 10:51 or so. I'm gonna adjourn the meeting.